I'm Rich Carroll. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, here to wow you. Educators will be the focus of a special vaccination event next week. John Arking reports.
Governor Ron DeSantis announced on Monday that all people age 60 and older will be eligible for the COVID-19 vaccine starting next week. While under a directive issued by the Biden administration, teachers of all ages are eligible for COVID-19 vaccinations. Flagler County Health Officer Bob Snyder says that is perfect timing with their efforts.
Inventory vaccines have increased from 800 a week for first doses to 1,600. And I think everyone knows the governor expanded criteria for the people who will be getting vaccinated, right? More than just long-term care residents, healthcare workers, and those of us over the age of 65, but teachers and school district staff, law enforcement over the age of 50, firefighters. So we're working with all these groups to inoculate our law enforcement folks over the age of 50, firefighters, and we have a closed pod, point of distribution operation that's going to be set up just for teachers and school district staff on March 20th at Flagler Palm Coast High School. So that's a closed pod for our teachers. So we are so glad that this is happening, the expansion of those getting vaccines.
From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm John Arden.
Palm Coast is planning a multi-million-dollar expansion to its tennis center off Belterre Parkway. Amy Cherry has the details.
They want to turn it into a regional racket center that would feature more than 3 dozen tennis and pickleball courts, events space, a clubhouse, and other amenities. Mayor Melissa Holland says amenities like this are a reason people choose Palm Coast.
We are still growing. Why are we growing? People choose Palm Coast for their home because they like the amenities that have driven them here. A lot of residents have relocated here many years ago because of the golf courses and the tennis and the boating. We just now also have a multi-generational community. And that means that we've established programs for all ages.
But the proposed $5.7 million investment didn't come without opposition. Councilman Ed Danko.
I mean, we're talking about a lot of money here, an awful lot of money. And we're in the middle of a pandemic. In case you folks haven't noticed, you're all wearing masks, okay? Our economy is going to come to a screeching halt when all this government money does come to an end. We can wait a year, can't we? We don't have to move forward on this today. It's not a must-have. Again, I'm not opposed to this, but I'm opposed to it at the moment.
Holland calls this a savvy strategic move.
Most amenities in most communities are not looked at as revenue generators, but offering a quality of life to increase the property values in those communities. So when our residents choose Palm Coast, they choose it because the offerings that it affords them. They choose it because it's clean, it's safe. Those are strategic investments that we make. So we're not going into debt. We're not taking out loans to pay for the expansion of this facility.
Construction on the project would start this fall if approved, and the facility would open in 2023. The city has yet to approve any construction contracts. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Amy Cherry.
Flagler County Sheriff takes an additional role. Karen Johnson has more.
Flagler County Sheriff Rick Staley is the newly elected Florida Sheriff's Youth Ranches Board of Directors Chairman. Sheriff Staley has served on the FSYR Board of Directors for the last 4 years. Sheriff Staley says being elected as the board chairman with an organization I firmly believe is doing so much good for our youth is a privilege.
The Youth Ranches is a phenomenal organization that helps mend lives of our youth. Not kids that are in trouble, but kids that have had a poor home life or tragedy in their family, and they just need a helping hand.
Founded in 1957, the Sheriff's Youth Ranches is credited with helping more than 165,000 children and families in Florida. Youth are cared for by cottage parents who help instill strong work values, integrity, quality, a sense of responsibility, and building character to ensure they're given the same opportunities as their peers for school attendance and extracurricular activity participation. The objective of the Florida Sheriff's Youth Ranches is to prevent delinquency and develop lawful, resilient, and productive citizens. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Karen Johnson.
How does a doctor determine a patient's mental health status? Dr. Tana Ahmed Kabir said there's a survey that she offers her patients to see how they're faring mentally.
We have a series of 15 questions we like to ask. They're yes and no questions in regards to your mental health. At the end of this survey, I will be able to determine if there's any concerns that we can address.
Dr. Ahmed said after the questions, she and the patient discuss the results and decide what action to take. She also stressed that patients need to see their medical provider at least once a year or more to keep not only their physical, but their mental health in check. The interview with Dr. Tanem Ahmed Kabir is from Lifeline, which airs every Saturday morning at 9 right here on WNZF. Tomorrow, Dr. Ahmed talks about how COVID has affected that depression survey when many visits have gone virtual. And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Rich Carroll.